week's warm up is basically it's a repeat of I had something in mind this week, but there were so many different quotes this week that were very interesting to me. Some of them funny, some of them just interesting. So we're gonna do a game of retweet, keep, or delete. For those of you that are new, if you agree with the quote, you can retweet it. If you're not sure and you want to wait a little bit, you can keep it. And if you don't agree with it, you can delete it. And you get extra points if you can name the person that said it. So because our halves are kind of split off into basketball and football, the first half is going to be all basketball quotes. So the first one, it is for people in Cleveland, just as a guy who's basically one of them, blue collar, hardworking, punch the clock against all odds. People in Cleveland are always looked over, but people in Cleveland are genuine, hardworking, tough, gritty motherfuckers. That's how I was when I played. Hope people remember me as that. Hopefully, one day my jersey is up in that arena.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is.
I'm going to let you have that one.
Oh, yeah, Tristan Thompson.
Yep.
I'm going to retweet. I'm going to retweet on that one. I might be tripping, but I think he should have his number retired for the Cavaliers. He played 1 million games in a row for them, and he's part of a championship team. I think he has a good chance of getting his number in Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't know if I would retweet it because I think Tristan Thompson in the rafters, although it makes sense, I don't know if I'd personally put that out there. I'd keep it. Yeah, there ain't a lot of dudes to retire in Cleveland, so you might just see everybody from that championship team get one. But yeah,
I'm a keep it because I gotta know who. If it's just LeBron getting his number retired, then yeah, I kind of have a grievance with that. Like, is Kyrie Irving gonna get his number retired? Like, if he gets his number retired, I could kind of see Tristan get his number retired. I don't know. Matthew Dellavedova might want to fight somebody. He may try to get his number retired. But think
about who they got already, though. It's Price, Elo, Nance.
Nance, yeah.
Yeah, because it came calculation for, like, his son to wear it.
Right.
And then Thurman. Nate Thurman is also in there. So none of those guys won a championship. Nate Thurman is a Hall of Famer. Larry Nance isn't. Neither is Elo or Price. And, I mean, LeBron obviously is going to have his number retired. I mean, I think K-Love should. And based on that precedent, like, Kyrie should too. So I don't think it's far-fetched for Tristan Thompson to get his number retired.
I think it was just funny to me just hearing Tristan Thompson number retired.
that is funny though, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Tristan Thompson before he played the Cavs this past weekend. He's now playing with the Celtics. Our second quote comes from a radio show, and it is, if you were to place LeBron James on this year's Sacramento Kings roster, they would not be a championship contender.
I mean,
okay. You can take that one.
I mean, I delete it because who cares?
I'm gonna keep it, but also, like, doesn't that say more about the Kings than it does LeBron?
Yeah. That I'm gonna have to read. The hard part is, like, all LeBron's teams after a certain point have been championship contenders. So I don't know. Like, could they get to the conference finals with LeBron? It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. So I'm gonna delete it just because I'm giving anything with LeBron has a chance, but that quote came from Jay Williams. He said that to Keyshawn Johnson on their show, KJZ.
What hour of the show did he say that in? Because that's such a random
They were basically
thing.
they were basically talking like, if you put LeBron on any roster, would they be able to win a championship? That was kind of the question that preempted.
Yeah, that don't seem like you leading the show with that.
I mean, they start at 5 a.m, so it's.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think that's poor. That's more towards the 8 o'clock hour.
So we got 3 more. This one is kind of a little bit longer, and it was one of the more interesting quotes that I heard. And it's, I understand basic economics. I understand that you can't play the players unless the league is making money, and we're not a league that makes money. So I get that. And I don't like it when people speak to us as if we don't understand the basics of economics. We just want an opportunity to be seen, and we don't get those opportunities. We don't have the corporations that want to sponsor us and partner with us. We don't have businesses that sell female products sponsoring us. I think female athletes are some of the best people to promote deodorants, sports bras, tampons, and little things like that. Glossier, they did a deal with us while we were in the bubble. So we're able to make get ready with me videos, skincare videos, those kind of things. That's right up my alley. I loved it. There were about 10 of us involved, and they're the first beauty partner of the WNBA. The WNBA has been around for over 20 years.
I'm gonna read that.
I'd retweet it.
I don't know who said that though.
Sounds like Ella.
That came from Lexi Brown. She said that in response to a question from Brandon Marshall on the I Am Athlete podcast. And it was kind of like a continuation of a conversation that they had in the previous episode. Lexi Brown was kind of a guest on this week's episode, along with DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson. But they had a conversation a couple months back with Channing Crowder. And Channing Crowder was basically like, they don't make any money, so they can't pay them more. I just thought that was an interesting response, because a lot of times, like, the framing of the conversation about paying WNBA players more is about they want to be paid like the NBA players, which vast majority WNBA players never say anything like that, because, as he said, like, they understand basic economics. It's more of a revenue sharing thing and sponsorships. So I just thought that was an interesting thing. And she was kind of getting annoyed with Brandon Marshall and Chad Johnson, because Chad Johnson kept trying to set her up with Justin Jefferson because they both play in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a different issue for a different day too. I mean, I guess that's just, Lexi Brown goes on that podcast or whatever, and I've listened to bits and pieces of it or whatever, and we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan talked about that this week. Yeah, you go over there. That's why I like the Knuckleheads podcast. Because they're gonna they talk to female hoopers like they hoopers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or women hoopers, I should say, like they're hoopers. And I don't know if Lexi Brown was talked to like she was a hooper at that point.
I think the way it wasn't like Brandon Marshall was being aggressively trying to be disrespectful. I think it was just the way he framed the question, as if he was trying to say, like, what do you say to people that say you guys can't get paid like NBA players? So that was kind of like her thing. But I do think that's kind of like when she said, like, people talk to them as if they don't understand basic economics. That was it's something I've always known, but just the way she framed it, I think, was interesting, because, like, people do talk to them like they don't understand that they can't get paid because they don't make so much money. Like, they don't know that already.
Right.
I think people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you can go.
I was just saying. I think people get the soccer thing and the basketball thing mixed up. Like, the soccer women should get paid the same as the men because it's the same federation.
Yeah.
The NBA and the WNBA just aren't the same, but they should get the same cut though, as the NBA players. And I think people don't understand that you Like people also don't understand that that's the difference, and also people don't understand that they're fighting for the same cut as the NBA players.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like what was it? Is it 50-50 now for the players?
I think it is 50-50.
Because it hasn't always been that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they just like started now. Going back to Knuckleheads podcast, I forget who said it. I think it was Candace Parker. That said they just now started getting their own hotel rooms and stuff like that.
Right.
Which is wild, considering like some of these people have kids that they travel with, and that's just wild. The next quote is pretty short. We're rapidly approaching the time to call Bam Adebayo a top 10 guy.
That was on like a Miami Heat pocket. I saw that quote somewhere, but I remember that being on a pocket. First off, delete that. Heck no. No.
I mean, he's a premier big though. I keep it, but I mean, Gerald, he's a premier big though.
I mean, he's a premier big, but like, I like Bam Adebayo. I'm just saying, like, top 10 guy in the league with like Giannis, Luka, Jason Tatum still getting better, obviously. LeBron James still in the league, Anthony Davis. Like, I don't know if Bam's ever going to get there. And he's not even like a number one scoring option on like the regular. He's still struggling to like constantly get games where he goes 20 points a night, 30 points a night, 40 points a night. He's just, I see the point. I just feel like he's a long way away before I'm going to say top 10.
Like, I think in a weird type of way, he's going to be a guy that matters. I think Miami's a little bit – I mean, I understand Jimmy hasn't played, but I think Miami's a little bit tired right now because I think the small layoff. But I think he's going to be a guy that matters.
That's fair.
So, and I don't think you can say that about a lot of people in the league. But, I mean, I understand top 10 may be a little bit off, but I mean, I think he's headed that way. Not right now, but I think he's headed that way.
I get you, yeah.
That came from Nikias Duncan, who's a writer at Basketball News. Shout out to him. I just wanted to include that because he made his debut on The Ringer this week, and it's just I support people that I've been able to see grow from where they were previously, writing on their own, writing for free, to where they are now, and also seeing. I don't want to get into a long discussion about the media again because I feel like we do that every other week. But it's just nice to see a Black person who doesn't play basketball get an opportunity, especially a Black man get an opportunity to be in the media that has not played basketball, which does not happen very often.
Right.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Happy to see that. And it's for, I guess, full context, he said that he would have Bam in the 18 to 25 range right now, which I guess that's where you start to approach top 10, I get, once you're in that discussion.
And then on the Black thing, though, yeah. Because, like, white folks be saying off-the-wall shit all the time. And then, you know, when people talk about perk and stuff like that, but, like, man, white people be saying off-the-wall shit all the time. It's good. Even if you disagree with it, like, it's good to see, like, a Black person be able to say off-the-wall shit.
That's true, yeah.
Last quote is also a tweet, and it's this. He was one of the first members of the National Association of Black Journalists to take me under his wing and make me feel like I belong. He pushed to bring the best out of young reporters, was a fierce advocate of diversity in journalism, and did it with a smile on his face. A pro, our friend Sekou Smith will be missed.
I feel like I didn't see that. Did Belmonte say that?
No, that was like an Andrews.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Shoot. That's the guy that died from COVID-19, right?
Yeah. He worked for the Jackson Ledger in Mississippi. Then he covered the Pacers. Then he covered the Hawks. And then more recently, he was on NBA TV.
Wow.
So he was passed away at 48. I just want to include that because I feel like it's been a rough week. He passed away on Tuesday. Obviously, right after we recorded last week, Larry King passed away.
Right.
Yesterday, Cicely Tyson passed away. And then as we were getting ready for this podcast, John Chaney passed away.
Right.
So just a lot of passing away. People, I just want to send prayers to the families of all of those people.